Linear function. The following table gives values for the linear function f of x equals to mx plus b. Determine the equation for the function and provide its sketch. So we're given values of x and f of x. At x equals to minus 1, f of x is minus 1. For x equals to 1, f of x is 5. X equals to 3, f of x is 11. And for x equals to 5, f of x is 17. Now from these given values, we can find the rate of change or the slope, right? So let's first find the slope. Since we have already given that this represents a linear line, we know the slope should be constant, and we can use any 2 points, right? So slope m is the value of function, difference of value. We can say f of x1 minus f of x2 divided by x1 minus x2, right? So the order has to be maintained. I could have written x2 minus x1 divided by x2 minus x1. Do you understand? Okay. So, but you have to maintain the order, right? So let us consider these 2 points, correct? So let us say that is my point 1, this is my point 2. Now in that case, y values are fx, 5 and minus 1. So we'll write 5 minus minus 1 divided by the difference in next values, 1 minus minus 1. 5 minus minus becomes plus, plus 1 gives us 6, and 2 minus minus becomes plus, gives you 2. So we get a slope of 3. So that is the m value. So we already get function in the form f of x equals to 3x plus b, since we have calculated the value of m. Now to calculate value of b, we can select any point. Let us take 1 and 5 as our point. So that means x value is 1 and f of x is 5. So I'll replace f of x with 5 and x with 1 and then calculate b. So we get 5. 3 times 1 is 3. So we'll take it on the left side. 5 minus 3 is 2. So b is 2 for us. Since we get b as 2, we can now write down our function, right? So f of x should be equal to m of 3. So we have 3 x and y intercept of 2 plus 2. That represents the function. You can always check it. Idea is to confirm whether you have the right function or not. So to check, we can use the third point. So what is f of 3? Let's calculate f of 3. So f of 3 should be replace x with 3 plus 2. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 2 is indeed 11, right? So f of 3 is 11. Correct. So we have checked it. So that is perfectly fine. So this equation is accurate. Now to sketch a graph of this function, what we can do is we can just plot x and y axis here. So that is x and this is f of x. We have equation of this line or a linear function in slope-intercept form. So 2 is the y-intercept. So let's say 1, 2. So that becomes y-intercept 2. So, and 3 is the slope. That means rise of 3. 1, 2, 3 and run of 1. Run of 1, correct? So that is the second point. Likewise, we can get points on this side also. Joining these points should give us the equation, graph of the function, right? So that becomes the graph for our function where the y-intercept is 2 for us, right? And the slope is 3. So that is how we can actually get the function and sketch it on the graph. I hope the steps are absolutely clear to you. Thank you and all the best.